Well, welcome to Wager Talk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by my twin today, Adam Trigger. No, we did not plan this. And Dave Koken of WagerTalk.com. We have a little AFC East preview. The Patriots at the Dolphins. Let me get the Wager Talk odds screen open. The current line, Patriots -6. There are some 6.5s and even a 7 at Pinnacle. Totals around the 40 range, a couple 39.5s. Really low total here. Dave, before we get into this, I'd like to ask you a question. We are in unprecedented times here with a week 18 plus lots of COVID news.
Yeah.
Tell me how you're handicapping week 18.
Real carefully, which is one way of saying I haven't bet anything yet, and I don't know if I will. The key this weekend is intangibles, because for most of the teams, I mean, there's obviously a few big games, including the huge game here in Las Vegas on Sunday night. But for most of the teams, I mean, Philadelphia already knows who they're playing. They're playing at Tampa next week, no matter what happens this weekend. New England, well, we're going to talk about that game. I might as well get right to it. It doesn't mean anything to the Patriots, not in reality. Okay, I mean, technically they could still move up, but Buffalo would have to lose to the Jets, and Buffalo's not going to lose to the Jets. So the Patriots are going to just get through this and get prepared for next week's playoff action. The Dolphins are more likely to treat it like a playoff game, because this is it for them. They don't play again after this. So, I mean, if I had to bet the game, I guess I'd take Miami plus the points. But even for them, it doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, and we don't really know who's going to be on the field. So it's the lightest of leans for me to the Dolphins. And overall, I think that's kind of the approach most people should take for the entire weekend slate. Be very careful.
Very good advice from one of my favorite OGs in the industry, Dave. Adam, you and I have been in this industry a lot less time than Dave. And week 17 is kind of how I was thinking about week 18, right? We know we have tons of divisional matchups. So I'm looking at those divisional dogs with something to play for here. I think the Dolphins might be that divisional scrappy dog. Your thoughts on the AFC East divisional game we have in front of us?
Yeah, so when this matchup popped up, I was sure that I would be on the Dolphins, and I do still lean that way, but there's a couple things putting me off. The first thing is just sort of how things transpired for Miami to get to this point. Remember, they were 1-7, and to even get back into a situation where they were actually playing for a playoff spot. I mean, the effort that took to get back to that point is substantial. And then it all kind of came crashing down last week when they get just absolutely boat raced by the Titans. So now they have to kind of come into this spot, going from, the playing their way all the way back to get into the playoffs, or to be right on the cusp of a playoff berth. And now that's done. And it's really just kind of a meaningless game. Now, I think you can argue that there is some meaning, I guess, in potentially beating the Patriots. That's always going to be kind of a big deal. But the Dolphins already did that this year. I mean, they opened this season with a win over the Patriots. So that's kind of the reason I'm off of it. Is I would like to think Miami will take this seriously, but given what's kind of transpired for them up to this point, I could kind of see them showing up and just not caring a whole lot about this game. The Patriots, again, they probably won't either. But matchup-wise, it's actually probably a decent matchup for New England. If they were to show up and play this game the way they're capable of, the Dolphins, they need to get home on the blitz, and Mac Jones is elite against the blitz. So I could see that being an area where the Patriots could excel. And then, the Dolphins struggle to stop the run, and the Patriots are obviously, good at running the football. So if this was a game that the Patriots needed a little bit more, I could see this being a good matchup for them. I still kind of think the number's high, which would tilt me toward the Dolphins. But just the way that they kind of crashed out last week, I can't get to the window with it. Lean Dolphins won't make my card.
Sounds like we're all three on the same page here. Slightly into the Dolphins or pass. Make sure you guys head over to the Wager Talk YouTube channel and check out all of our other videos.